Peace, peace, peace. So they think that myself and people that teach this 5% doctrine are like nuts or loped out. And it might be that me and my friends used to joke all the time and laugh because we studied like everything, right? They used to think we was crazy. Like it was like 11 and 12 years old and shit, right? And well, I was, but they were a little older than me actually. But we studied everything, man. Like we started out with the street organizations. And we studied all the street organizations, and they would think we were just traitors and backstabbers. And then we went into religion, and they thought the same thing. We went into Christianity, then we went into Islam. Well, actually, we went into Christianity first, then Islam, and so on and so forth. Some of us even went further into the Hebrew Israelite doctrine and things of that nature. But so they would think we were crazy or whatever. So like now, based upon this lawsuit and things that I put out, people that's helping me in this, we decided I have to start a very dangerous order. And it's kind of similar to, I'm going to just say it like this and I'm going to shut down and we'll talk about it another time. But this is going to be a dangerous order because I got people that try to just take out members in my family, threatening our life on a day-to-day basis, saying that, you know, I'm 13 times astrology isn't a real teacher anymore. We're not getting any views, and you know, and it's because of the conspiracy of these sheriffs that are Shriners, right? They want to take over what I'm doing because they're jealous. Because I made like over $1 million yesterday driving. I made over. You see, I'm making a video. I made over $1 million driving last year up in Minnesota. Just little stuff. Like I made a lot of money last year, like millions of dollars, on my own. Like I didn't sign a record deal or anything like that. So now they call themselves these little sheriffs and different people in these different organizations that I've been around that are Shriners and secret people, and they want to say I'm a hypocrite, and they're trying to judge me based upon the doctrine of what I'm teaching, and then the views, and saying that it's not consistent and things of that nature, right? But yet and still I'm making all this money, right? I'm winning all of these games, and I'm becoming like one of the most wealthiest teachers out there, and it's all because of what me and my brothers used to do, and we still on it. They don't know. Very secret order. So where you would think if you were a martial artist, for instance, and you were given a belt color, you would have to essentially, you know, associate with the colors, associate with that ranking or the credentials based upon that ranking. And they're scared because myself, I'm just giving you an example. We may be demonstrating black belt doctrine and be walking around with white belts on. That type of stuff. So they're fearful, and you got to do this because when people threaten your life, like, I mean, this is warfare. And they think I'm nuts and stuff like that, but it's like, I'm a sovereign, right? And this is warfare, so it's like when somebody declares war against me, I don't have the luxury of calling the police or things of that nature. It starts off as paper war, paper commodities. And when it gets so high, which is what it did, that's why I had to go ahead and put in the lawsuit. So now we're talking about billions of dollars on my body, though. Like, it's not the channel, and that's what they're getting confused at. Because they don't understand what I've put myself through and the information and stuff like that I have. But it's like, I'm giving you an example. Me and myself in this secret order right now are betting like 3 cities and really beating the fuck out of them, man. I mean, I'm gonna keep it real with you. Like, they don't give us no donations. Yesterday we got $1. We come on here and give you all this information, right? You too, these people watching this. You guys think I'm crazy, but everything that I've said on this channel is manifested. I've never lied to you. You know it. You might not like my direct approach. You might not like my appearance. I mean, I understand that because I got to be out here for real. I'm not your actor. I got to walk around here with bums and thugs that will rob you at any given time. So yeah, I can't just be walking around here. I don't walk around with a car. I can't. I'm too rich. I'm so rich to the point where if I was living in your type of lifestyle, I would need a chauffeur, but I'm a street guy though, so I don't need all of that. But I'm saying, like, in your terms, these people that grew up with the silver spoon, I'm serious, I could afford that. As far as the equity that I have in in the notes that I'm invested in, the currency that I'm invested in. You say you're rich. Why you ask for donations so much you only got $1 and you broke? Being rich has nothing to do with having these fiat notes. Again, I've already told you that they don't accept you into the matrix. When you're a sovereign or when you're from another country, if you're demonstrating it like from a sovereign perspective, they want you to pat into the matrix and get a visa and eventually give over your commodities that you may have from another country to demonstrate here. It costs millions of dollars. You don't know this. And I try to tell people this over and over again, to live here, it's not cheap. You just don't know it because you have an identification card. Get it, man. It's the most lucrative tool. And I don't really want to tell you how much it's worth because A, you're not going to understand the point values, and B, if I did, you ain't going to even probably get, like if I told you it was worth $1 billion, your ID, you probably would have a hard time even making like $1 million, the average person. Let alone talking about it's worth $1 billion. You would have a hard time in your whole lifetime even trying to come up with $1 million off of it. So it really doesn't matter. So it's like they attack me because of the stuff that I know, but then now I got monetization to back and partners, essentially like a group set up to where we just monetize and like can back just about anything that I'm saying, and like I can have conversation with anybody on this planet and just pay them, any rich person you could think of. So it's like I have a lot of power even though I don't have a lot of currency, and I could potentially have a lot of power. So we decided to start moving secret, man. Like, so it's like you never really know, like, and it's not like about trying to act like you're something else and you're not. It's not to do this intentionally, but it's that dangerous. You have nuts that want to judge you on what you're saying. These religious nuts, they want to judge you off of what you're saying and things of that nature, but they have nothing and no money to visa it. See, the thing is like they don't teach you this religion. You got a set of books, right? And it could be like 20 different books that you got to like study to be a part of this religion, right? And they're going to judge you off of those books. They're going to judge you off of those books, but here's the big but. It doesn't matter. Because if you don't have the money to visa the stuff that you're reading about, it's just mumbo jumbo until it's put into a practical application. So it's like saying, okay, I learned that 5 plus 5 is 10, and 10 times 5 is 50, and 50 times 50 is, 2,500, whatever the case may be. I've learned these things. But what does it mean in real life? Like, did you go to the store and spend $2,500? See what I'm saying? This is where I'm speaking of. So it's like, yeah, you can learn all of these things about religion and martial arts and all of this stuff, sovereignty. But what did you do to apply it? So that's when I talk about visaing something, that's what I'm speaking of. What did you do to actually visa it, though? See, people, they talk and try to judge, but just like in court, a judge, he might have, I've got people in my family that, are judges, and I've sat down with like this high-level judge, taught me a lot of shit from California. I was with, shout out to him, Brother Al. But taught me a lot of stuff, man, right? When I was out in LA, and he had like all these books and shit. But it's like none of this shit means shit unless you're actually in a court, a case. See what I'm saying? So that's where I differ from a lot of teachers, because they come up here and talk about a lot of stuff, but it's like, okay, so what are you doing in reference to like applying what you're like, what does this mean right now? Not even just applying it, like trying to look smart, but like what is going on in the world right now to reference what you're teaching. And this is where we separate, and this is where they get really scared of me now, because I've never really taught you stuff on this channel that wasn't relevant to what was going on in relationship to metaphysics. I don't just come up here and try to sound smart, is where I'm getting at. So just wanting to put, so when you see me, because they try to put out this stuff about I'm fake and this and that, just know that's my mindset for the most part. That's how I move. That's how we move. And it's only a few of us that's really into this thing, like all the way. We got a lot of people that support us, that fuck with us, fans, and crazy people and shit like that. But shout out to y'all. But for the most part, as far as people that's really into this thing right here, it's a few of us, man, it's like you would never know, and they try to judge us off many standards and stuff like that. So I'm just saying that to say for the next person out there, like when you get real live knowledge that's really could hurt someone or help someone with it, it's not, if you're seeing a lot of people getting a lot of attention and fans and views and things of that nature from what they're studying, just know one thing. And it's this. It's that they're getting that for a reason. It's a controlled environment helping me. I can tell you how the views are set up on YouTube, who finances them. They're financed, man. Period. Yeah, some of it is how you look. I get that. How attractive you are. Yes. I'm not saying that that's not important. And I'm not saying I shouldn't be. I've explained to you why I don't roll like that. I understand that some of it is if you're married and, and you have a conventional life. And someone like myself that literally hires people to take care of their children, because that's what I do, they don't like stuff like that. They consider us nuts and loony schools. And you hire your parents to do stuff for you, like people, they don't like shit like that. So that's what I'm going through. So like moving, like I call it Sufis, man. Like I was trained by high-level Sufis. That's how we move in an economic way, though. So anytime you see me coming up here from now on, I'm always speaking in double terms, because I have people that's literally out to get myself, my family, my children, and want to kill us all off. They're scared of us like that. Like they don't even want us talking to people, man. Literally. They don't want you dating women. Literally. They make when I date a woman, they go sabotage her. Literally. They'll go mess her life up. Shit you go through. So like when we revamped it, that's what happened, and what's happening now, excuse me. Expect to see a lot of cloaked mystery is what I'll call it. Peace.